Today I wanted us to concentrate on Wajakoya. And to concentrate on Wajakoya, 2 days ago, today is 16th of August. On 14th of August, we were commemorating 2 anniversaries. The first anniversary was for Bishop Alexander Muge, and the other one was for Henry Muro. They died on the same day. Alexander Kipsang Muge died in 1990, and Masinde Muro died in 1992, both of them on August 14th. So, as we remember Masinde Muro, I think there is a reason why we should interrogate Professor Wajakoya thoroughly. I may be finding myself, and I hope I'm not the only one, if things continue the way they are continuing, I'm finding a possibility of thinking that Wajakoya is hiding more than he is. In any struggle, be it pre-independence and even the second multi-party struggle, and so on and so forth, you may find that some of those loudest people who shout, we went to Mustuni, we went to Mount Elgon, we went to Mount Abadeas as Mau Mau people. And in Uganda, people would say, I was in Luero Triangle. But if we look at them, you may find that even those who are shouting that they were deepest in the trenches may even have been the traitors. Wajakoya has used each and every opportunity to shout how he was in the forefront for the fight of second liberation. But as days go on, I ask myself, and I want my viewer also to ask himself or herself, is Wajakoya really what he wants us to believe? Or was he even a double agent? He himself has said that he has been gagged. The law say he has been gagged by a court of law not to speak about multipartism until the court case has ended. If I remember very well, he has never told us, or if he told us, I didn't hear, of the court that gagged him. Is it a local court? Is it a foreign court? And can he share the court orders? Because when it comes to issues to do with multipartism, at every given time, he is digging his own hole. And when you're in a hole, the last thing you should do is do more digging. Why am I saying so? At one time, he will have to decide whether he's scared more of people's perception, or he is scared more of the court orders, assuming that they are there, assuming that they are Kenyan orders. Now, let me give you what I know and what I've recorded in various occasions. First of all, he himself, I remember when I started talking, somebody sent me a message through DM and the person had an account that bears his name. And he told me that he was advising me that it would be better to let matters to do with special branch silent. And he told me that he was telling me as a friend and as a brother. When I read that and I tried to answer back, it had been blocked. This is a situation where somebody sends you a message and then blocks you. I have never had a telephone conversation with him. I've never had a physical contact with him, even at this time. We've never met, even when we were in the service. But when I was in service, I was made to understand that Wajakoya was working in a music room, and he recorded a conversation between Nicholas Biwott and Daniel Arap Moi. And he took the tape to the British High Commission at Bruce House next to GPO, and he was given political asylum. Now that is where things get mad. Remember, the other day I said, and I even recorded where I said that a certain politician is very good in placing himself. He even finds you in the middle of a struggle. Like the second liberation found him in detention. But when he came out, he came and claimed that he was on the forefront for the second liberation. Go to various parts of Kenya. You'll find people saying that you were just sleeping and he fought as if single-handedly. He fought to liberate us. Now you are enjoying the freedom that he fought for. But then, assuming that was true, if you fight for freedom or free speech, then you should also allow people to have free speech to criticize you. But according to some Kenyans, if you fought for free speech and the free speech came, then people are not supposed to exercise free speech on you. On you, because you are the one who brought them the free speech. Mine was just a tip of the iceberg, because what I know and what I believe is that this particular person enjoyed some conjugal rights where the prison people would look the other way around. Now back to Wajakoya. When Wajakoya talks about activities in the 90s, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense to even himself. And that leads me to tell you my main beef with him in this step. Wajakoya, can you look me into the eye and tell me that you are not used by the system to lure Henry Muro to his death? Can you tell me that without blinking? Because as things go on, it appears that you may have been a double agent, that you may have been used by the system to call Henry Pius Masinde Muro to his death. You can take me to court. In the Betway and the City, they say the outside of this jail is a bigger jail than the inside of this jail. So I cannot just keep quiet and my conscience kills me and enjoy this free air. I'd rather go to committee. The biggest advantage of being in a committee is one. Do you know where I am? Anybody can come and assassinate me here. But it is slightly harder when you are in a committee or industrial. Now let us go to how Wajakoya is talking or mistalking. One, here he is, he says, and he has talked of it. If you go to YouTube, you'll find that. In very many public rallies, he takes a microphone and says, there were people who are planning to assassinate him, and it is Raila who stopped him from being assassinated. That is stranger than fiction. Remember, I've used the word stranger twice. There is stranger than fiction, but this one is stranger than fiction. Why? Let me talk as somebody who used to work for the special branch. There were departments. Now, for you to be placed in a music room, okay, let me give an example of GSU. You see, for you to go to rec company, you have to be the normal GSU, and you'd be seen as somebody who can assist in, somebody who is physically and psychologically fit for rec company. That is when you'd be taken to rec company. Now, for you to work in the special branch, and then you are taken to a music room, it means there was a lot of vetting for you. Then here you are. He leaves the police service. Of course, the way we know he left, it is convincing. Because going to the embassy with a tape, that one would easily make it quick for you. That one we agree. But then, you being the cream of creams, I can tell you that in the special branch, the elite groups were the production section X production, which was surveillance, which was the technical aspect of dabbing people's phones and so on and so on. These are the people who, and then if you allow me, I could also say Opio's team at Nyayo House was also in that group. And then you tell me that when you are working, monitoring phones, I don't know where music room was, whether it was in, but I suspect it was either in Nyati House or it was in GPO. Now, for you to be in such a place that a person of your rank, first of all, I was not of your rank. You had one peep, me I had two. Although it was considered the same rank, but I had two peeps and you had one. Now, for you, somebody of my rank, I had no access to that. You had access to that. It means that they had done a lot of background check on you, and you are placed in that strategic place. And then you come up and tell us, you talked in very many, there were people who are planning to murder me, assassinate me, na kama sio baba ningeuawa. That's a white lie. You are in one of the 5 top elite groups. And you are talking of Raila saving you from being killed when Raila was in detention, Manyani. Now, Gen Zs can't understand, but let us talk of people of that time. You want to tell me that a political prisoner, a political detainee in Manyani can save somebody in a music room? Come on. That is one. 2, when he left Kenya and went abroad. Nobody even knew. He was whatever. And then he claims that James Kanyotu wanted to know who killed Robert Ouko. And so, James Kanyotu went to music room, took him and told him to investigate the issues. When he was said to investigate issues, he gave a report to James Kanyotu. And when James Kanyotu left work, those who took over after James Kanyotu were not happy with him and they went after him. You see, these are the things that You are forcing us to suspect you. Because let us take it this way. First of all, Ouko died in State House Nakuru, and Moi was there. And anything happening in State House, James Kanyotu gets it. Because James Kanyotu not only had intelligence officers there, even people who are working for various departments, the cooks, the whatever, were on his payroll. Why? Because the cooks one day could conspire to place poison in the president's food. So he had to know everything. And another thing, could James Kanyotu wanting to know, okay, suppose he was not killed in the State House. Suppose he was killed wherever, Kathmandu. Did he have to go for a small person like an inspector who had a place where he was working for 13 hours? Music room. That is our fault. And then he himself went to Britain and went abroad as a registered refugee. As a registered refugee, and that is why he did many mature degrees and got the degrees. What happens? He went and did his mature degrees and did what? And he comes here and tells us that he was a watchman in Britain and he used to dig what? Dig graves. There is an international agreement that a registered refugee cannot work in a host country, and that is why they are given money by United Nations High Commission for Refugees. They give you subsistence money. They pay for your university, whatever. And how does he come up and say he used to dig nini? It also gives me to question the story that he says he used to be a chokora. He says he used to be a chokora. I am a half a Kikuyu and half a Luhya. And the only Luhya chokoras I know, most of them, of course there are others. Let's say 40% of the Luhya chokoras are people who were born out of incest, people who ran away from home. I have siblings, same mother, same father, who became chokoras because of my father's harsh treatment. So we have those things. And then telling us that a person who has a proper home, whatever, somewhere in Kakamega County, saying that he was a chokora and whatever. Let me tell you, it all stings to high heaven to show that this is somebody who had been, who even when he was schooling at Raffles, is it Raffles? When he was schooling at Raffles, he had already been identified as somebody who can spy on other chokoras to find out if the chokoras are doing what. So I think, and I want this thing to spread so much to reach as many people as possible, that it is quite possible that Wajakoya, while in London, was approached by the special branch to lure Masinde Muro to him. Because it is quite possible, and I'm saying that, because he himself used to work in music room. But he called Masinde Muro knowing that the landline would be dubbed. Okay, I've always said, and I'll still say, that maybe he saw that the alternative would mean the message not passing. But he took time to convince Masinde Muro that he had a very important things to tell Masinde Muro, that that will make the Ford not to break. It will make Ford not to break, because that time Ford was into Ajip and Mudidi House. 2, when Masinde Muro went, because Masinde Muro did his own investigation. You know, even right now, if I were to tell you that I want to meet you and you know that I used to work for NIS, you'll have to think twice or thrice to meet me. It will take you time to. It will not be as easy as anybody else. So, Masinde Muro trying to find out about this person, he must have gone back to the special branch to do his due diligence search. And the Nyati house would have known that it is true that Masinde is trying to investigate that. And so he was being given what we call turn operation, whereby people come and give you information thinking that you are clever and you have gotten the information, whereas in reality, they are leading you into the garden path. Now, Masinde Muro here goes, and I've said and I'll continue saying that Biwott coincidentally moved with Masinde in the same plane out and in. But if Biwott was connected in this particular assassination, then he did it at the policy level and left the technical people to take part to participate in the technical aspect. Masinde Muro, when he went to London, they met, and it was in an open place where nobody would be near and nobody would listen. The report I have, the belief that I have ever, and of which I'm now trying to rethink, is that they met in an open place and the agent, this fellow is a Kalenjin man, was standing from a distance. And the report I have is that when they parted ways, the way Masinde Muro walked, the way Masinde Muro behaved, led the person to believe that whatever information he has received from, whatever information Masinde Muro had received from Wajakoya may bring down the government. That is what happened. But who knows? Because I'm starting also to doubt. Is it possible that the agent who was, this Kalenjin agent was following, had eye contacts with Wajakoya? From the way Wajakoya is forcing me against my will, and I want to repeat, Wajakoya is forcing me against my will to form an opinion that he may even have had contact with this agent who followed. If not, he may even have been communicating with our people while officially declaring that he is an exile. That one, Wajakoya, if you don't want to come out clean, it is between you and your conscience. If you want, you can, okay, I have not seen that court order, and I think many of us just believe that we are taking it from your word, and we have seen from what Gen Z saw that politicians are very good in taking advantage of a situation where they make political and financial capital out of it. So it is up to you to tell us the truth, because it is you who was there. Do you have a hand in Masinde Muro's death? Of course, we have always believed that you have a hand because you are the last part, and you had even called him to London. That one we know. But the way you are behaving, could you? I want my viewers to spread this thing as much as possible. And if possible, let Professor Wajakoya take me to court. I just would ask that, and I would spend a very good time in committee or industry area. Because out here my conscience is disturbing me. I'm getting it an impression that you may have had a hand in Masinde's death. Remember the Bible. Julius Karaoke. Julius Karaoke was Jesus's, am I pronouncing properly? Julius Karaoke was Jesus' disciple and even treasurer. Someone telling me that that is why they like Mbesha. He was Jesus' treasurer, but he only needed to go and hug Jesus. So, was your meeting in London an Iscariot moment,